Hello everyone! So, you might be wondering why for today's Pokde News Recap, you're seeing me instead of the usual Auntie Bawang. Well, unfortunately, Auntie Bawang had a little bit of an incident as she hired a professional to drill her. So, I guess for this week, I have to take over the episode. So, my name's Aiman Maulana, and this is Sneaky Snack. And let's dive right into the news, shall we? For our first piece of news, the Nothing phone is now officially available in Malaysia. So the Nothing phone is a mid-range smartphone powered by the Snapdragon 778G, with the G here is supposed to give you an extra edge in the graphical performance. So you have the choice of either 8 gigs of RAM or 12 gigs of RAM, and storage options of 128 gigs to 256 gigs. For the display, it's a 6.55-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display with 120Hz refresh rate and 240Hz touch sampling rate. Now for the power, it has 4,500 mAh of battery with 33W fast charging, 15W wireless charging, and 5W reverse wireless charging in case you need to use this to charge a different smartphone. Now it comes with a dual camera setup consisting of a 50MP wide-angle camera and a 15MP ultra-wide-angle camera, one from Sony and the other one from Samsung. Now, with a starting price of just 2,399 ringgit, it's actually a pretty solid smartphone and you can pretty much recommend it to everyone, especially the older folk. But just a fair warning, just because of the name, it might result in some confusion as you try to relay the information to them. Hey, Ama, got this new phone that you should buy.
Oh, what is it?
It's nothing.
What you mean nothing? I thought you say got phone.
It's nothing.
What you mean? You want me buy phone but you say nothing. What you want?
And now to our second bit of news. Twitch is lowering the streamer payment threshold. Now for those of you who actually stream on Twitch, I'm pretty sure you know this, you can earn money through subscriptions, bits, and ad revenue. Now usually you will need to collect about $100 before you can even cash out. But now, you can actually cash it out at $50 instead, meaning you can get access to the money that you have a lot quicker. Now this is actually beneficial more towards the smaller streamers because the big streamers will usually be able to cash out probably once every stream or maybe 2 streams at most, but the smaller streamers will take a longer time to actually do this. So now they can actually get access to that money and use it for any necessary upgrades that they might want. But really when you think about it, when they're trying to do this, it's kind of like having that ex-boyfriend who's trying to like wish you to come back, you know? Like, oh no, don't worry baby, I'll give you more money, come back to me. I mean, I won't give you more money, but you know, I'll give you money more often. But baby, come back! And now to our third piece of news. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth will not be cutting content from the original game. Now previously, there were some worries about Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth as well as its future sequels will see some cut content from the original game. Now we're not too sure where this rumor came from, but that is actually not true. Because the game's producer Yoshinori Kitase has actually mentioned that Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth will not heavily deviate from the original game, and this also applies to the future sequels. Now I'm pretty sure if you played the original remake, at least the first part of it up to Midgar, there has been some changes to the storyline, especially in terms of death and character appearances. But the key word here is it will not heavily deviate. Now at the same time, Tetsuya Nomura has also mentioned that they are not going to cut any content from the original game. If anything, they might actually present it in a different order, but it should still preserve the original game experience for you, just that they're probably heavily expanded. But the thing is, this isn't something you should be worried about because they are turning one game into several large games. So if anything, cut content should be the least of your worries. I'm pretty sure they'd be struggling to figure out how do they expand it to fit into its own standalone game, especially when considering the fact that it's up to a specific point and then you have to wait for the next game. I mean, who wouldn't want to who would say no in this kind of situation? You get to enjoy some big, long, HD swords. What do you think I was gonna say?
Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
And now on to our fourth piece of news. Oversupply might cause the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 40 series to get delayed. Now previously, there was an issue where a lack of supply made it hard for people to buy a new graphics card. Now we've come to a point where there is an oversupply of graphics cards, and even that is actually causing problems. So too much is a problem, too little is a problem, and that's why they say too much of a good thing is always a bad thing.
That's just deep, bro. That's deep.
So in this particular case, there is an oversupply of the RTX 30 series graphics cards, and as a result, they might have to delay the launch of the RTX 40 series graphics cards. But even then, you don't have to worry too much because it shouldn't be too long. Now the reason for this is because they certainly want to actually be able to compete against AMD, and if they delay it too much, it will actually put them on a competitive disadvantage. Now, from my understanding, and this is still unconfirmed, so do take this information with a grain of salt, it should not affect when the graphics cards get unveiled. It's just a matter of when you can buy it. So just stay tuned until we reach the end of this year. We should be able to learn a lot more about them. And now on to our last piece of news. Samsung might actually drop the Exynos chips for the next Galaxy S series. When you think of the Samsung Galaxy S series, which is their flagship smartphone, you would know that they will come with two different variants, the Snapdragon variant and the Exynos variant. And in the case of the Galaxy S22 series, more markets that would typically get the Exynos variant are getting the Snapdragon variant. And now it appears that the next one, which is expected to be called the Galaxy S23, they'll be getting only the Snapdragon version. Now this is because Samsung is going to drop the Exynos version just like how my mom dropped me as a child. Now, the reason for this is because they said the next-gen Exynos chip is too inferior compared to the next-gen Snapdragon chip, which is currently expected to be called the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. And this is inferior overall in terms of performance and efficiency, so it'll be hard for them to actually give a matching performance on a global scale. Now, just by using one chip, at least they can ensure that everyone will get the same experience. Now this may seem a little bit odd, especially since I'm pretty sure most of you know Samsung has been working with AMD to boost the GPU capabilities of their Exynos chips. But at the same time, this might just be a one-off thing and it will still be continued on in the future. But for now, all signs are pointing towards the Galaxy S23 series, or at least the next generation Galaxy S series, will be just a Snapdragon version and nothing more. And that is all for this round's Pokde News Recap. Now, likely you're going to be seeing Auntie Bawang next time around, but there's also a chance we might make a return. So until next time, my name is Amal Malana, and this is Nicky Snap. See you guys again next time. Bye!